All right, y'all, we getting into it. This is coming straight from Irene the Roseless page, y'all. No other than my girl, Candace Owens. She gonna give it to you without holding your hand, baby. She keeps it real, and that's why I love her, y'all. I know about my girl Candace Owens. I have plenty of reactions on her throughout my channel because she is a beast and gonna give it to you how it is, whether you like it or not. So fall in line. With that being said, y'all, she's so dumb. Candace Owens goes nuclear on AOC with epic rant. We ain't finna waste no time. Let's dive into it.
When we're dealing with somebody who's a 32-year-old congresswoman. I'm sorry, did I say congresswoman? I meant Congress menstruating person, because apparently we're no longer allowed to say women. I mean, this is so ridiculous. And here's what's really funny. She immediately cripples her own argument here, right? Her argument is that the evil GOP, they're taking away actions that women were allowed to take via abortion. But she's immediately saying something worse. Forget the actions women can take. Are women even allowed to exist anymore? This is what her side represents. It is so radical to not even be able to formulate the word woman because you feel too scared because you need to accommodate all of these various genders, and trans people are also women and this is also women. No, women are women. If you cannot enter a debate about abortion and even identify what it means to be a woman, you have no place in that debate.
Preach, Candace.
So you look at this Texas law and she immediately says, of course, doesn't want to commit to a gender, but also says pack the court, blow up the filibuster. Does she have a constituency, Candace? Is she an army of one with a big profile? Does she speak for a lot of people?
In my personal opinion, I've said this, I actually think AOC is very good for the Republican Party. She's very good for conservatives. I think she shows people just how radical the left has become. In fact, there was never this much conversation about how radical the left is until she entered in and she said, I'm a socialist. She started stomping around. And so people may not like her platform, but I think it is for the better. You know, when she does something like she did today and she says, oh, the patriarchy and patriarchal ideas and all of this stuff that they're saying, and they're reducing us to a uterus, while at the same time not recognizing that she's reducing women to the idea that we're just menstruating persons, which is way worse. I'd rather be a...
Y'all, Candace be letting her have it. I like how Candace keep classy, though. She gonna chew you out and then give you your props where your props is at. But it's crazy because, like, she's just literally going in. I'll be like, free Candace. Let's get it.
Uterus and be referred to as a menstruating person. You know, it's good for our side. People need to see this. People need to see just how radical the left has become.
So, Candace, we're just getting this in now. Larry Elder is the leader. If they're going to recall Gavin Newsom, he'll be the next governor. He's leading the Republican side. And evidently, he just had a major confrontation in Los Angeles. We're just getting this tape in. Let's just watch it together.
Mm-hmm. We'll deal with y'all later.
Take your hands off me. Touch me again. Don't touch me.
Don't touch him.
What in the bananas is going on here?
I don't know if you have a monitor there, but there's a bunch of white people and a woman in a monkey mask taking a swing at his security and throwing eggs at Larry Elder. Classy.
Yeah, I've seen this, and it's absolutely infuriating. I know Larry Elder. He's a friend. He's a mentor. He's on the board of the Blexit Foundation, which is my foundation. And let me tell you something right now. If this was on the other side, if a white woman wearing a monkey mask threw an egg at a black Democratic candidate, this would be wall-to-wall coverage. And actually, this might actually constitute a hate crime in Los Angeles. We need to find out exactly who this woman is. She needs to be arrested, and charges need to be brought, because this is absolutely criminal and disgusting, and it might be racist. I'm unsure why she was wearing the monkey mask. I have no idea why she was wearing it, but I'd like to see more information about that.
Right. Very interesting. They also called Larry's son, some of his entourage son. And keep in mind, too, this is somebody they're trying to label the black face of white supremacy, which is ridiculous on its face and its definition. Guy grew up in South Central and wants to fix the state that's been broken by the most inadequate governor outside the one we used to have here in quite some time. Candace Owens, thanks so much. And by the way, Larry Elder's going to be on tomorrow night.
Thank you for having me.
You got it. Meanwhile,
Mayor of New York the city of New York has a new mayor. His name is Eric Adams, former subway cop. Seems like he'd be a big improvement over Bill de Blasio. Unfortunately, he has continued Bill de Blasio's state of emergency based on COVID. He's also continued the vaccine mandate for indoor venues, which is insane. So a lot of New Yorkers are continuing to flee to Florida, and that would include New York Congressperson Sandy Cortez, who the national media persist in calling AOC, as if it's their job to make her myth. Let her do it herself. Her name's not AOC, it's Sandy. That's what they called her. Anyway, Sandy went to Florida on vacation with her boyfriend, and of course she didn't wear a mask. She got caught on video not wearing a mask and got attacked. Her defense, I'm a very sexy lady. Quote, if Republicans are mad that they can't date me, they can just say that instead of projecting their sexual frustrations onto my boyfriend's feet, you creepy weirdo. Who's the creepy weirdo, Sandy? Anyway, Candace Owens is the host of Candace. She joins us to figure out who the creepy weirdo is here. Candace, great to see you. What do you make of her? I'm just too sexy. Like, you can't criticize me. Does that work?
Listen, I saw this and I actually couldn't believe my eyes, and I tried to create a sober analysis of what made her tweet that. And by the way, it got worse. She had a second tweet that said, there are sexual frustrations that underpin Republicans' critiques of me, their fixation on me. So she's really actually creating a sexual narrative. And in my sober analysis, I believe that she wasn't sober. I think, alcohol loosens your inhibitions, and I think that she was about 10 margaritas deep in Miami, enjoying the free state of Florida, and she wrote something that was honestly just filth. I mean, how bizarre and immature is it for any person that wants to be taken seriously as an adult, to look at a fair critique of them as an elected official who has been barking about how Florida's doing everything wrong, about how bad Ron DeSantis is, to see this critique and to offer back, well, you know what, you just want to sleep with me. I mean, what are we even talking about? Imagine if any male did this, an elected official. Imagine if Rand Paul, gets a critique, or if any other person, even Joe Biden, if Joe Biden was critiqued and they said, sir, how can you say this about climate change? And his response was, well, you just want to sleep with me. I mean, it's so bratty and it's so immature,
right,
and it's so disgusting
sense
to even think about. And let me just say this in case there's any confusions. I have a lot of critiques of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I've had a lot of critiques since the very beginning. No, Sandy, I do not want to sleep with you.
I think that's fair. I mean, it does suggest enormously high self-esteem, bordering on
funny.
Narcissism. I mean, if someone criticizes you and your first thought is they just want to have sex with me, maybe they just don't like you. That's what I always assume when people criticize me. I never think, oh, well, you're very attracted to me. I mean, like, how crazy do you have to be to think something like that?
You're trending every other week. You're trending every other week.
I don't think it's because I'm so sexy.
I'm trending every week because everybody thinks I'm sexy and they're just venting their sexual frustrations. Nobody would take you seriously because that's simply not how adults speak. It's the way that teenage boys who derive sexual innuendos from everything, that's how they speak. And that's where she belongs. She has the mind of a middle schooler. This is a 32-year-old woman. It's really unacceptable, quite frankly. And it is hilarious, but it's also unacceptable that she's actually an elected official that sits in Congress.
She's an absurd person. But I will say the thing about being a 52-year-old talk show host with 4 kids, everyone wants you, Candace. It's like so insane. I just love it. Thank you. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
Is Candace Owens shocked? We're about to find out. She's the host of Candace, and we're very happy to have her on tonight.
Hey,
Candace Owens, I don't want you to be hysterical about this crime thing, okay? By the way, I'm just asking, can you get taxpayers to build a wall around your house and call in the National Guard to protect you, as Cortez and the rest of the Congress did?
I cannot, unfortunately. And I will tell you, I am live from D.C. tonight, Tucker, and I have to tell you that Miss AOC led a protest in front of the White House today about climate change. She was in a crowd of people, maybe about 500 people. It's 98 degrees. Our therapy must be working, is my point. I mean, I can't imagine suddenly you're terrified to be around groups of people. The insurrection was so bad, and then you just host an insurrection outside of the White House. And so it's just ridiculous. So she's such an actress. But I do want to point this out because I think it's so frustrating. Definitely people outside of D.C. are looking at the situation and going, we all know what this is. We all know that AOC is a bad actress. But do the Republicans know this? Do they actually recognize that AOC is actually doing a very good job? Because what her job is to act and to pretend and to distract while they work. The Democrats are working. I've said this in this program before, and I will say it again in very clear terms. They are working to federalize the police force. The Democrats are working to federalize the police force. Okay, so what AOC is doing right now is making sure that people don't pay attention to the crime and pay attention to instead the white supremacy boogeyman. It's the same thing when you look at Kamala Harris. Everyone's, oh my gosh, what's she doing? Nothing at the border. Yes, nothing at the border is.
Look where we were, y'all, and look where we are about to be at now. Isn't this just crazy? Just over the time of all the crap that we were going through, all the mess that was thrown at us, to where we are now today, with less than 44 days before Trump gets into the White House, coming to clean up mess, coming to clean up all the BS. Like, isn't it a great, great, great time of your life to be alive, to witness everything that we've witnessed? And then come January 20th, y'all, like, history is going to be made. His second term, finally, right? Yeah, I remember I was telling y'all when he went and, that time wasn't his time. His time is now. So that's what's up. It took a lot of exposing. These years had to be exposed, like putting everything out there so people can make the right choice when it came to voting this go round. That's the beautiful part about it. Let's get back into it.
Kamala Harris's job. Her job is to make sure there's an influx of illegals coming in. The Democrats are winning right now. So at the same time that we're mocking her, we have to recognize that AOC is actually winning because she's accomplishing what she's meant to accomplish. Get people focused on white supremacy. Get people focused on the insurrectionists, while at the same time they federalize the police force and they change the fundamental demographics of this country to make sure that they can also simultaneously federalize elections down the line.
It's such a good point, and it can't be said often enough, and I fall for it too. She's so infuriating and childish that you just get caught up in the details. Oh, hysteria, I'm in therapy because of the insurrection. And I missed the point that you just made, which is, of course, you're meant to get caught up in the details, so you miss the big picture. Thank you for saying that.
Absolutely.
Candace Owens, a very smart person. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I love
Hey,
Miss
Sean
Candace
Hannity
Owens.
here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
So I urge my colleagues to vote no on this amendment. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. The chair would remind all members to address their comments during the various debates to the chair. The question is on the amendment offered by the gentlelady from New York. Oh, I'm sorry. For what purpose?
Mr. Chairman, I move to strike the last word.
Gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
And I yield to the gentlewoman from New York.
Thank you. Thank you to Ranking Member Pallone. I understand in this body it's not the first time that it seems as though the opposing side can't seem to be able to debate the issue. And so they must come after my character. While I cannot control the fact that the other side seems to have made the assumption that I am uneducated, one of the things that I can say, or what they may say about my worldview, one of the things that I can say is that while I may not work for Wall Street, that is true. I may not be here with the mission to increase profits for corporations. That is true. My mission here is for the well-being and dignity of our family and our planet's future, for our children's ability to live on this planet. That is what this amendment is about. Moreover, when we talk about education, we should all take it upon ourselves in this body to educate ourselves on the science of the challenge of climate change that is before us. By around 2050, we are looking at the western states to be projected to further increase, wildfires to further increase 2 to 6 times. And that is just scratching the surface. Thank you, and I yield back to the ranking member.
New Jersey.
And I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman from New Jersey yields back.
Okay, so I guess it ends like that. But yes, my girl Candace Owens, I have been following her since I started my journey. She was actually referred to me by you all when I started, and I love the hell out that girl because, like I said, she tells it how it is, whether you like it or not. She not holding your hand. And, I mean, if some of y'all go back and look, she been screaming majority of this stuff that's been going on. Like, she's been enlightening all of this mess. And really, it's because of her and a lot of other great people, including myself. You know what I'm saying? For getting that message out there, getting that word out there. You know what I'm saying? And it takes that. It's all about researching y'all and finding the information out for yourselves and finding out who these people really are that we've put in place. You know what I'm saying? That is the key. It's finding out who you put in place to not only run our lives, but our kids' lives and kids' lives and stuff like that. It matters. It matters at the end of the day. It does. So, with that being said, y'all, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I hope y'all, because something like, again, we have people who are starting the journey like I once did. We have people who are researching. So I'm just about bringing great content out because I was a person like why, and then went to, searching and looking and finding out that, this is not really what it's supposed to be. This is there for the, what I'm saying? You learn so much on this journey. It's ridiculous. You're learning every day. It's like a ongoing, never going to stop type of journey. And I'm telling you now, once you see it and you enter into this world, there is no unseeing it. Your eyes are definitely clear. So, appreciate y'all for tuning in. And if you are on this journey or with me still on this journey, then welcome y'all. We got a lot to learn. Okay? I'm out. Y'all be safe.